What you talking about, Lilith?
Welcome back, guys. What you talking about, Liz? I'm your host, VI. You can call me V, and this is Fight for Your Rights. Let's talk about it. So we are going into special session on the 21st of July, and there are a number of bills that were vetoed that were originally the priority for special session. And as we've all heard the ruckus rumblings, there is now redistricting that's being added, and it is said to be brought up by the DOJ, which is actually pulling back. But they are wanting us to address the Biden administration actually brought these issues up and these lawsuits up with respect to redistricting. And this is after the 2020 census that was done and the redistricting lines were drawn. And now apparently we're rehashing this issue all over again to see if we can pull more seats out of this district, I suppose. It is not something that can't be done. We're thinking as many as 5, as few as 3. If it's needed, it's needed, but let's beware that dummy mandering is not something that we want, which is when we take an already red or blue district and attempt to flip it by adding constituents of the opposite demographic, only to then lose the existing district that we had that was either red or blue. So now we are left essentially with 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. So we've all heard the fuss, right, about the redistricting. This is not just a Texas issue, Ohio's going through it too. And this is perceived to be Republican gerrymandering, but it could very well become a very serious Democratic problem. Democrats per Politico only need 3 seats to win the House, but let us not forget the GOP controls the White House, both branches of government at this time, 27 governorships, and enjoys a conservative majority in the Supreme Court. What's the worst that'll happen? I'm not taking light of what is an existing problem, and if they do gain control of the House, we understand what that means. It means partisan goes out the window. Partisan relations and bill passing and resolution goes left because, you know, sometimes liberals take things just a little too far, just like sometimes MAGA takes things a little too far. You know, one of the best chances the Democrats have to regain some of this power is through the House. And this is why this was pushed by the Biden administration as an issue with redistricting per the 2020 census. But I digress. We are going to be talking about it in the special session, which I said comes into play on the 21st of July. But let's not forget that, as you know, when asked for a comment on whether his plan was to redistrict GOP incumbents, Abbott's press secretary Andrew M. dodged saying in a statement, while partisan activists focus solely on political issues, Governor Abbott is dedicated to delivering results on issues important to Texans. He cited flood relief and tax cuts. He has been all in on disaster flood relief. We cannot say we haven't seen him front line really trying to be out here like Kamala to a certain degree in these streets, providing all the relief that we actually need. You know, there was a lot of damage that was done. So, you know, in the midst of the damage and the chaos and what really needs our attention, we will be bringing it up in a special session. And let us not forget what the special session was actually intended for. This is for the vetoed bills that need to be discussed. First off on the list, Senate Bill 3 relating to the regulation of products derived from hemp, including consumable hemp products and the hemp-derived cannabinoids contained in those products. Senate Bill 648 relating to recording requirements for certain instruments concerning real property. Senate Bill 1253 relating to the impact of production fees for certain water projects and the regulation of certain wells authorizing a fee. Senate Bill 1278 relating to an affirmative defense to prosecution for victims of trafficking of persons or compelling prostitution. And the list goes on. You know, we understand that if we want this to be fair, Democratic districts, Democratic states should be doing the same. California, maps are drawn by an independent commission, and in the second largest, New York, there's little appetite to reopen the redistricting process mid-decade after a failed effort last cycle, i.e. they couldn't figure out and agree how they wanted to redistrict after the last census, so they just gave up, which, whatever. Nobody's interested in just redrawing lines whenever you want. However, we are trying to, you know, oblige. So we will see. Either way, hoping for the best. And this is just my 2 cents on what's going on with Texas and Ohio, and hoping that California and New York do decide to jump in and participate so we can make this as fair as possible, because the reality is there is no need to be thieving, conniving, unfair, stealing, any of those negative low vibrational traits in a fair democracy. We should not feel obligated to do things that we were uncomfortable with. As someone who did, in fact, vote for Kamala as vice president and regretted that decision. I did. I thought Biden absolutely deserved, there comes a point where someone just doesn't give up and you just feel the need to compensate them for their efforts because, wow, if anybody deserves this, it's you. Yeah, did our country suffer? Absolutely. Do I regret it? A lot. Am I sad that I didn't? No, because in that moment it felt like the right thing to do. Would I do it again? Oh, no, never. It is what it is. With that being said, I hope you guys need to like, subscribe. Also, the corporate retaliation, it's real. You can see it in the views. You can see it in the numbers. Like, subscribe, guys. Show me you're here. Help me beat corporate. And this is so weird because I am corporate. It's kind of, yeah. Anyway, love you. Till next time.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.